I want to give you some assistance with the final project check-in, which is due tonight, July the 7th by 11:59 p.m. This is a pretty good description of what you need to do. What basically you need to do is to fix the errors that occurred in your previous posts on this subject. I have commented on your previous posts and explained what you did wrong in the earlier assignment, if you did anything wrong. But most students did do something wrong. Their theme was oftentimes not clear, and the topic sometimes was not specific, and the time frame was way too broad. This happened time and again. Students wanted to cover a huge span of time, sometimes since the early 19th century, and you can't do that. Your time frame has to be no more than about 25 years. It could be less than that. It could be 10 years, but it must not be more than 25 years, because you're going to be addressing a specific topic over a specific frame of time, and the broader the topic and the broader the time frame, the more it becomes, close to impossible to achieve that goal. So you've got to choose one of the themes that was provided to you by the assignment, and make sure that your topic relates to your theme. For example, if your theme is democracy and how democratic America is, that would be related to something along the lines of women's suffrage, for example. There's clearly a relationship between democracy and women's suffrage. If you were talking about the atomic bomb, let's say, that would not go with the theme of democracy, or at least it's hard to see how it could relate. If it's hard to see how it can relate, you have to explain how it relates. So keep it simple and make sure that there's an obvious relationship between your theme, which you will identify here again, and your topic. Now, what you really should do here again is correct the errors in the last discussion assignment, and that will serve you well. So it talks about it here. If you address the broad theme of democracy, you might want to talk about the fight to protect voting rights during the 1960s. Notice, the 1960s, that's a 10-year time frame. Or the protest music of the Vietnam War era. That's a particular time frame that is up to 25 years. In fact, sometimes they call Vietnam the 25-year war. So you've got to narrow your focus. This was the biggest problem many students have, and I fear that many students have still not narrowed their focus. This is the time to do it. Okay, so your task is to submit your topic, theme, working thesis, time period, and format. Obviously, you need to know what each of these means. In other words, what is a topic? What is a theme? What is a thesis? It says the hardest part is developing a better thesis. Yes, you have to develop a specific thesis. Not a broad thesis, but a specific one. I don't know, an example would be, were communists involved in the civil rights campaign of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.? That was a controversy in the 1960s. Notice it's very specific. Probably it's a boring topic for most of you, but it is a narrow topic, and if you were interested in it, it would do a good job of fulfilling the requirements of the assignment. That's just an example. Finally, it says write out an organizational outline of your project. Even if you're not writing an essay, treat the outline as if you were. Bullet topics, so you know what to write about, and you know that when you write about these things, they are going to be relevant to your thesis and topic, because you've thought about this when you've assembled this outline. Don't just go off writing and not thinking at the same time. But if you prepare an outline, you've already done the thinking up front as far as the organization of the essay is concerned. Outline 5 to 6 body paragraphs in addition to your introduction and conclusion. The more detailed the outline, the more feedback and guidance I'll be able to provide in the next couple of days to make sure you're on the right track. But you don't want the outline to be the same thing as your essay. You do want it to be an outline. So we're talking about maybe a half a page outline at most. All right, so that is the information on how to complete the final project topic, working thesis, and format assignment, which is due by 11:59 p.m. tonight, July the 7th.